Sorry, I live in Italy. Can we get a European challenge?
No!
Forget I asked. Araknie l'italiano here, bringing you Lamborghini American Challenge. This is one of the very few games that Titus made that are actually playable, so hey, that must count for something. It's also the first in a duology of Lambo games, with the second being on the N64, so it will be very far away for us on this channel. Goodbye, childhood game. Your story will be told in the far future. This originally was released on the Amiga line of computers as Crazy Cars 3, even if it was a pretty big departure from the first two titles. So it was better to grab a car license and rebrand this for what will become the here-present Super Nintendo version. And here's how we got the Lamborghini name. Unfortunately, even if playable, there's not much positive you could say about it. It just does the bare minimum it could have done to be enjoyable, aside from the fact that it doesn't have any story, but that's not important. This is a racing game, but certainly not a Wendy's, fortunately. So this is a bit of car PG, as you can see. You have to make money by taking part into a tour of the USA and winning races, but it's a bit more complicated than that this time around. First of all, be careful of your money. All races have an entrance fee that you need to pay, no freebies here. So here's a few tips to make this game less frustrating. I picked up on them pretty fast, but everybody's different. First of all, write down the password after you finish every race. Then look at all the races on the world map with the A or B button and make a mental note where the one that costs less is. Fortunately, you need to press start to, well, start, so no making mistakes here. If you press exit, you can look at your stuff, the racers and their win streaks for example. You can repair your car in the garage. The game is pretty generous with collisions, meaning that you don't get too much damage aside from special events where you can find these big trucks. Also, it doesn't cost much, $200 for every 10%, seems fair. In the shop you can buy upgrades and you calculate how much the race cost and how much can you spend. It's pretty simple and the game is not that hard. The beginning is actually the hardest part because of your lack of speed. Keep repeating this process, especially the password copying before checking the shop, and you won't have really any problems. There's system in the game and I use them. Ignore people that complain because you don't do it in one try or without game overs. The people that try to convince you otherwise push people away and make the retro gaming world small compared to what it could be. The actual gameplay is a typical racing game with obstacles in your way, both static and moving. There's grass, cones, side road work structures, a lot of things plus outside of asphalt objects like trees, lamps and all other stuff that you need to put flavor to the scenery. Plus traffic cars and also cops that work more times than they should. They follow that first car that passes through their blockade. Not all of them, only the red ones or you, those are the racers. Also it could happen that they put a speedometer and depending on the speed you're going at, you're gonna receive a fine. To escape them, just be faster, man. Easy? Not really, not until you upgrade a good bunch. Dear cops, go eat a donut and chill instead. The betterments you can make to your car are exactly what you'd expect aside from a few interesting items, like the night goggles that allow you to see further away in the evening stages. The police's raptor, an item that allows you to never be targeted by them. Cool things like that. What you need to win is really simple. You'll be faced with 4 different divisions, so you could call them skill levels. Get enough money and you'll get a bigger star to appear. This is a challenge where you need to drive good in a time limit and never cross paths with the oncoming line. There you might find a truck ready to destroy you, they do massive damage. It happened to me once and it was already password time, they can wreck a car. Even if they singe you, it might still be a good 20% of damage. Really risky stuff. The problem of this title is that it doesn't have enough content to support such a big campaign system. If you're good enough, not that good but just like me, you're gonna have all upgrades by the middle point of the 3rd division. So what I did is to play the other racers in that division so I could get the expensive car, and then what I did in the last set of races? Nothing. I had the money, I just did the challenge, won it first try and saw the credits. I skipped about 15 races that are just there for flavor. 1/4 of the game is completely useless. Classic Titus. Doesn't help that the variety of tracks was really abysmal. Top Gear 2, this ain't at all. It's basically 4 places: coastal, city, desert and mountain. That's it. I already did 45 races in those settings, another 15 of them I just didn't have in me. I wasn't already having great fun since the second division because they don't vary artistically at all. It was really a bummer. It's always the same city, always the same coast, the same mountains. Oh, this time with snow on them. Top Gear 2 had all unique backgrounds for every race, and that's a lot, but at least new backgrounds with every division would have been cool. Nope, sorry, get bored instead. Same concept applied to the music. 2 tracks of race music to carry you through 60 tracks. Oof. That's rough. It's not even in a style that I like particularly much, so it was extra exhausting for me. Plus a new melody, thankfully, for the 4 challenges. And I find it the best to ban what you get to hear the least amount of times. This is just me now, come on. In conclusion, I found the Lamborghini American Challenge to be worthy only of a 6 out of 10. And that's because there's some actual polish here. But yeah, you're gonna want this to end before it actually wants to. And that's what I did. With the power of money, you can skip racing to go straight to the finish. Just like in real life. If you wanna see me play the games that I will review plus some extra stuff, catch me on Twitch at Araknie Retro. It's my natural habitat, you see. Until next time, ciao ciao!